Alright, so you got right here the CNC piece. This is what it is it's for the hydraulic conversion.
Okay.
Because the R1 is a cable clutch.
Okay.
And what it is since we're running a Tilton clutch pedal assembly and brake pedal assembly, it is both hydraulic.
Okay.
So this is a hydraulic converter. It's got the hydraulic line that comes through. Custom fabricated header. It's got its custom fabric. It's all been jet hot coated.
Okay.
All the emissions has been removed out of this, just because of the fact that that you cannot run the stock airbox anymore. That the factory R1 bikes are anymore.
Okay.
So that's why you hear when it starts up, you do hear a little bit of fluctuating on idles because its emissions has been plugged on it.
Gotcha.
So, but it is still running off of the factory R1 ECU, which is located down here at the bottom. All factory wiring. Everything's all pretty much straightforward. I mean, down to the gauge cluster, which is R1, and this is the factory gauge cluster that came with this. The engine is a 2006 R1 engine. Has less than 1,500 miles on it. Other than that, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. It's got a Barnett clutch, Kevlar clutch in there.
Okay.
That has probably less than 100 miles or 150 miles on there because it's been recently, that was recently done.
Now, where are the filters you said that in case you need to replace? So you got,
these are the filters that are on here, but again, these are K&N filters with outer wears, so they have for ultimate protection. They have the filter, and they also have the actual screens that go on top of them. I usually pop them off after every trip, and if I were to go on a trip, pop them off, clean them, inspect them, make sure no sand is getting through. They've never had inspect these periodically to make sure they don't get any holes in them, for any vibration, because you want to make sure, because if any sand gets inside here, you could run into, you don't obviously want to get sand inside.
Right.
But you were talking about, what were you saying?
Like filters. You get, those are the only air filters.
These are the only air filters that go in here. Yeah, it's got 4 individual throttle bodies, so these are the filters that are plugged off. But other than that, like I said, there's really no maintenance involved. Here's the shift link that's right here. I occasionally try to get in here just because I'm pretty meticulous with that stuff and lube everything.
Is there any regular maintenance you think, like after racing or after getting out in the sand or something?
No,
something needs to be on here that maybe he needs to get in, make sure there's something.
I change the diff oil every time I take it out. Just because the Rhino rear diff only holds about 0.3 quarts.
Okay.
And you want to it's so easy to do, and you just in case something happens, you just save and just put in fresh oil. So
Gotcha.
I do that every time. And again, I've been fortunate enough the people that have maintained this into doing that and having that luxury of getting it done.
You don't get any sand or anything in there in the bottom, right, where the sprocket is and all that when you're.
No, because the sand is blown out through the back.
Blown out, so okay.
Yeah, I've never had any issues with that.
Gotcha.
Other than that, as far as maintenance goes, these motors are really durable. They're high endurance motors to begin